Hey, everybody. Welcome to HIT.OR.DIE podcast. Here with your hosts, Jake Saldati and Chad Rothberg. Big shout out to all of you out there listening or watching. We love you and we appreciate your support. It's like no other.
Shout out.
Well, I got to give some love. I don't normally give love. You know, I'm that guy. I'm the guy that, you know, I expect it. So I am trying to give a shout out to everybody that supports us. I do appreciate it, even though people, you know, might think I just don't give a shit, but I do.
Yeah, I know you care. Yeah, no, thank you everybody that downloads, follows on all the platforms. We do appreciate it. I saw more just like there's a percentage of, it says other right on our analytics. So when you see it, it doesn't give you like details of where. I can't find out how to see where this like 30 something % of our audience listens from.
Really?
So, but to those 30 something %, thank you also.
Yeah.
Although I can't see where they are at, you know.
And we're actually doing a YouTube challenge right now. So even if you don't listen or watch it on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. You don't have to watch it. We're trying to. It's a challenge to get to 1,000 subscribers.
When did we start this?
Right now, we just started it.
Right. Hey,
you don't even have to watch it. Just go hit the subscribe button. It'll help us out a lot. And
tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Just go hit the button. Go hit the button. You don't even have to watch it. Go hit the button.
Oh gosh, get the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and all the other. I think Google Podcasts is another one. There's a ton of them. And again, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And like Chad said here on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, whatever you want. But also share. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
My kids have been saying that lately.
Just because?
No, they're actually trying to share the stuff. So it's like sharing is caring.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Is it working?
Sometimes.
Yeah. It is Monday, May 17th, 2021. FPU just finished up their season over the weekend. Finished the year 19-21, 12-12 in conference. And they, that was loud. They dropped the final two over the weekend at Concordia.
I think that's going to be the main thing for everybody. I think, 2021, see you later.
Yeah,
2022.
Such a weird.
Let's finally get a weird full season. Year.
Yeah, get a fall, get everything they can normally get to.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to play, we'll take the games. They played a lot too. They had a lot of games throughout the whole season, and they played them pretty like you guys are doing, really.
Yeah.
Also, the Dogs final homestand this week. Fresno State baseball hosts USC Tuesday night. This will be out by then, or no, after.
Yeah.
But this weekend, they host UNLV for their final homestand. So if you can get out there, go watch some Fresno State baseball. They're on the road next week at Air Force, and that'll end their regular season. Sac State, 31-19. Little update on Sac State. 31-19 overall, 19-13 in conference. Their season finale this weekend at home versus University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. The WAC regular season also is coming down to this weekend with Cal Baptist and Grand Canyon, both tied at the conference #1 spot, if anybody cares. And then the WAC tourney will start next week in Arizona, which is, I think Mountain West was the only one that banged.
Did they bang it finally?
Yeah.
So the thing is with the smaller conferences that aren't the Power 5 schools, the tournament means everything.
Yes. Or just because you win the regular season.
Yeah. So like at Oral Roberts, like when I was at Oral Roberts, we won the league every year. But for a mid-major school, you're not going to get an at-large bid pretty much. So you have to win the tournament. So Oral Roberts, we had to win the tournament. It was important for us to win the tournament to get a good seed. Our strength of schedule is good. So we might have got a 4 seed, like if we didn't win the tournament, but
maybe at large.
Yeah.
as RPI.
So going into the WAC tourney, that a lot of those teams are in the same boat. Like,
well, and they're playing for some. I mean, Rio Grande, they're right there in third, both them and Sac State. So it's a big weekend for them.
Yeah, that's going to be a big tournament.
Yeah, and then
I wish they would play those on TV. You know what I mean?
They might. They have their.
Like we should have a West Coast channel, like being able to watch like at least the tournament stuff, because it's still postseason. It's almost like having a regional or super regional, you know, or the College World Series. They should be able to do something where you could watch. I know the SEC does it. You know, you could watch their tournament. The Big 12 does it. So I mean, I think even though these mid-major schools out here in California, they should be able to have these games to view.
Yeah, and just stream.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all streaming stuff online.
Exactly.
So because you can get the Fresno State games.
Well, depending on if it's Mountain West or if they're at like San Diego State.
I know being at the game Saturday, I could hear, you know, we sat in the shade up towards the top. You could hear the online guys. Yeah, you could hear them in the booth talking. So
did you hear me yell through the?
No.
Oh no, I was watching it, so I couldn't yell through the TV.
Bakersfield also. There's still a couple weeks left in the Big West, but 18-13, 15-9 in conference. And again, they're having their home series finale this weekend down in Bakersfield, hosting UC Irvine. And then the big news last night with Fresno State softball. We're trying to get Coach Jody Cox on the show here. Just scheduling conflicts right now, but I mean, obviously they're
postseason play,
super busy and much more important things to get rolling for the Dogs. But they will be at the Los Angeles Regional as a 3 seed.
UCLA
taking on Minnesota first game. And I want to say it's Friday on ESPNU, or May 21st. I have the stuff here somewhere. I'm failing. But yeah, UCLA, Minnesota, Long Beach State in that regional. Yeah, it's going to be Friday, May 21st, 5 p.m. on ESPNU. Again, that's Fresno State softball. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully they can get a little rematch maybe against UCLA. If they get past game 1, they opened up at UCLA to start the year. Yeah, I think they got blanked. So
yeah, I mean, but also Fresno State softball didn't have the time, the fall and all that too, you know, and then you have to go in and play a powerhouse right away. They've had a lot more games under their belt. They're hot right now. So I think that would be probably a different outcome and better game.
Yeah, no, and for another guest for today is Courtney Deifel. Arkansas took the 6th seed overall, national seed, hosting their regional, and I believe
they'll host all the way through.
Right, and then whether they win or lose, I think their site is a host site. But they
normally, if it doesn't, normally the super regional, it goes to the highest seed.
Right. So this year they're just having
host sites only.
Okay. So
it will be no matter what.
No matter what. If Arkansas moves on or doesn't move on, they will still have a super regional.
Got it.
So they'll be they got the 6th national seed. They open up with Manhattan, 10 a.m. Pacific time on SEC Network. And again, I believe that's Friday. So yeah, Courtney Deifel will join us here a little while. Before we get there, some more MLB stuff coming up. You saw the big MLB news last week was that the Angels DFA'd, and we talked about it for a brief moment, Albert Pujols. And over the weekend, you saw or was reported that he signed a major league deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
I guess, again, I didn't like how it happened with Anaheim, but also with the Dodgers, you know, I've read a lot of stuff where there maybe he could help. I don't know what
help what pinch hit.
Yeah, basically
spot start every 10th day, doing the same thing he's going to do with the Angels. That's why I feel like
is it a contender thing? Go out on top? I don't know.
Maybe
and I remember,
but I feel like there's something else we don't know about.
Probably
the Angels.
Probably
like there's more of clashing somehow.
Because he's not going to. I mean, for now, right? Bellinger's going to come back. Seager is going to come back.
Yeah. Muncy's at first.
Pollock's going to come back.
One of your best.
So at what point?
Well, all those guys are outfielders, but I mean,
it's still a right-handed bat in Pollock.
Pollock plays against lefties. He's a good hitter against lefties. I don't the National League thing kind of just, he has a reason for it. We probably don't know it, but it's probably, like you said, it's probably a contender thing. Being able to contend for a World Series
because
that he hasn't been able to do since he was.
the St. Louis thing was like a Hollywood ending type of deal because he's not going to play there either.
No,
and Goldschmidt's going to play every day.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the same type of thing. Pinch hit ABs.
Plus, what number is he going to wear? Seager's 5.
Yeah. Good point.
That's going to be weird seeing him with a different number.
It's turning into a little drama there. Yeah, it is. Big time. And again, it's going to be interesting when all those guys come back. Yeah. Because he might have a slight role now.
Slight.
But when those guys come back, it's essentially the situation he just left.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's a little confusing. That's why what you said is the only kind of answer that sounds reasonable.
I guess. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. His presence, I'm sure, helps. They do have some young guys on that team, but they also have guys that have been at how many postseasons the last 4 or 5 years? I mean,
yeah,
there's some experience on that roster. I don't know. Doesn't hurt to have a Hall of Famer in your dugout.
Or future the knowledge he has, he could help somebody. It's like essentially having a player coach on the team.
Yeah. No, we'll see how it plays out. It'll be interesting. I mean, so it is something worth noting and keeping your eye on, especially as guys coming back healthy for the Dodgers, what role he's going to play. Again, you hate
number. Let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
I want to know a number.
Yeah.
55.
You hate to see where it is. Like you would love to see that guy go out gloriously. Like a lot of guys have, like the Riveras and, Jeter got to go out, and
Poppy,
had their little tours, and, all the other crowds got to honor them and see them one last time. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird way it's going to go.
Yeah. But if it ends up winning a World Series,
it's a business thing though.
It is.
And the age thing still comes back. One of the reports I read was in quotes that he's 41 years old, but in quotes. So you had another incident that this time cameras caught with Joe Girardi and Gene Segura in a dugout spat. And it really not much to it other than, Segura had booted the ball. He had a rough weekend, right? And Girardi kind of let him have it a little bit. And when it got to the interview process, Joe simply said, "Hey, it's a bench conversation meant for the bench. Next question, just move on. We're not going to talk about it."
Mm-hmm. You can ask all you want. You got everything you're going to get about it. All right. I'm done with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim and then Bob.
I know you're doing your job, but that's it.
Joe, conversation or confrontation?
Next question.
How about the optics of all this?
Next question.
From
Jimmy, I'm not going to talk about it, Jimmy. I'm not going to talk about it. Next question. You got a baseball question? Ask me a baseball question.
We talked a little bit about McNeil and Lindor last week was their story.
That's how it should have been handled right there.
But we don't know what that was for sure.
It should have just been handled. It should have been handled like that.
If it was a dispute, you're just saying it should have been, hey, we had a dispute. There was a problem. They handled it amongst themselves, and we're going to leave it at that. We've moved on.
It was a conversation between teammates. And
is this considered old school?
Yes.
In today's world, everybody
wants an answer. Everybody has to be the first person to,
because that
put
question,
information out there.
That question was asked to Joe Girardi a few different times, and he finally just said, "I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to answer your question."
Yeah.
If you got anything about baseball, and then the next
and the Phillies,
that has to do with baseball.
Well, it's none of their business. It's like locker room talk, right? It's nobody's business what guys talk about in the locker room. It's nobody's business.
Or what meetings take place between manager and player.
Yeah. It's nobody's business.
We don't get to see the conversations between GM and manager or coaches between, who's playing where, what the lineup's going to be.
It's like you and your wife get in a fight, and then you get interviewed, and all we want to know is what you and your wife fought about. You know, like it's nobody's business, right? Essentially, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, so next question.
It's true. Because to me, it feels old school.
But I love that, though. It's none of your damn business. Move on.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be what?
Old school.
Why?
You shouldn't be considered that.
Oh, no. It should be. That's the right.
That's just the way it should be.
Yeah. Okay, I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't. And I don't know when that changed.
Well, it changed when it became about me. Look what I can do. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of that, before we move on to the next MLB topic, I sent you some video or clips of some hitting stuff. Do you have it still?
Yeah.
I think I got rid of it. But it didn't make any sense to me.
No sense.
And I'm thinking like this, and you don't have to say the name. Don't say the name.
Okay.
But the individual has a pretty large following. And none of it made any sense. I would never tell a player any of these terms or any of these things. I mean, I can post it on the YouTube page without the
forearm across chest, hands up, back heel anchored, swinging the foot down.
What does that mean? Do you know what that means?
No. When is your forearm not across your chest?
When you're hitting?
Yeah, but who says that?
Well, what does that even mean?
Hands up. What do you? And like it doesn't explain anything. Here's another one.
Well, what is the swinging the foot down? What did it say?
Swinging the foot down.
What does that mean? Swinging the foot down.
I don't know.
Do you have any idea? Like, you want to make something up?
It's pretty much somebody that it's pretty much a guy that doesn't know what he's talking about, getting people to think that he knows what he's talking about. I don't know. I mean, the only right thing that he said was firm front side.
Okay, and this is the next one, right?
Yeah.
Which player is this?
This is the first one was Lindor. This one's Tatis.
Okay.
Firm front side, which is you want a firm front side. That's fine. He pointed to the barrel. It says behind the baseball, but when is it going to be in front of the baseball? It's not. And then head stacked over shoulder, hip, and knee. So he's talking about the line that he probably has, but the way he says it.
And there was one more, right?
Yeah. And there's this was Tucker from the Astros.
Because the last one I thought was great.
So this one's actually a swing, and it says barrel isn't right to head. Instead, he floats it. Barrel isn't right to head. Instead, he floats it. No clue what that means. Number 2, stays in the zone for an insane amount of time.
I mean, it's in slow-mo, but.
And he's actually out front here, but. And then the third one is good adjustability in his legs. So, I mean, I don't know.
When I sent you that, what was your first reaction to those? Because I really did. It was late when I sent them.
Yeah, you sent them late. I mean, I was thinking this guy's an idiot. Like, for me, he's getting beat on an off-speed pitch, but he keeps his hands back long enough to stay through the baseball.
Right.
Boom. That's all you need to say. And that's what I try telling my guys. If you get beat where you're drifting forward because you're thinking fastball and the curveball comes, as long as you keep your hands back, you can still stay level, stay through the zone, and drive the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what this is. He gets full.
That's what I was thinking when I saw that swing. He was on time, right? And his hands stayed back, right?
And
thinking fastball, and he just adjusted.
Got the off speed out front, right? Kept his hands back. Yep.
But none of that shit makes any sense.
None of it makes sense.
I don't know what he's saying.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I think people make things so complicated that even parents are like, I don't understand that. So he must be right.
Could be.
He must know what he's talking about because I have no clue what he's talking about.
I saw that. I'm reading what the post say, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Swing the foot down. Back. I don't know. I just yeah. I had to bring it up.
Keep it as simple as possible. Have a good base. Stride the front foot. Load the hands. Attack the back elbow to hip while you drive your back hip through the zone. You will have a firm front side, which he was right. Keeping the barrel in the zone and level.
If you're listening, you should go to YouTube and watch this.
You,
And if you're watching this, just click subscribe and just keep watching this.
you want your elbows slightly bent because that is in a power position with palm up, palm down. And the bat is level in the zone,
No.
staying in the zone.
Dip,
What?
dip and rip, baby. Dip and rip.
After contact, follow through all the way through the zone
Yank and
and
bang.
enjoy your base hit.
Yank and bang.
No.
That's what they.
Be a hitter. You want to hit? Be a hitter. Be a hitter. It's called a hitter for a reason. That means you can hit. We're just teaching, hey, you guys want to come be a part of the strikeout club? That's like what all these hitters want to be, strikeout guys, and hit like 1 or 2 homers and be cool.
Again, I see stuff like that. I hear terms like that. I don't know what they're talking about. It's definitely a Jeff Fry
Yeah, he
guy
needs to get
right
on
there.
She gone.
She gone. Back into MLB. There was another incident. It was last night, Sunday Night Baseball. You had the Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. And there's a play where Manny Machado attempts to, I guarantee you we're not going to be on the same page on this one. He halfway between first and second on a ground ball, basically as the second baseman goes to tag him out, he decides to slide.
Yeah.
And I just by your initial reaction,
And I wasn't a Machado fan. Like, this is something that I would be mad at when he was at the Dodgers and stuff. Okay, he goes in hard. I get that. But like, what are you supposed to do? Just stop and have him tag you out?
I
Like,
mean,
he's trying to at least not get a double play, right? Because if he just stands there and he tags him, he can throw it a first still and get a double play. He's trying to do something to allow the runner. Now, did he go about it the right way about possibly sliding down at his feet? But I don't know. I just don't see any other option. Maybe just drop to the ground or try to jump out of the way to avoid a tag. I don't know. I just feel like I would do that. I feel like I would do that. If like a guy's going to tag me and running at me and I don't want my guy to get doubled up, I would like go down to his feet and make him try to.
and again, the video will be right here. But look at him where he's at when the guy fields the ball. He could have stopped.
He could have. You're right.
And gone backwards.
You're right. You're right.
And maybe Cronenworth would have beat the throw out. Because either way, he's out.
But if he stops and goes backwards, the guy just throws the first, and now they have Machado in it.
Maybe. You're right.
I don't know. That play's going so quick.
Is
You know,
that
we're watching in slow motion?
Yeah. Is that dirty? We can watch it in fast.
Yeah, go down. See, I don't know if he has time to stop. Because he's like shuffling his feet like he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And then at the last second, he just goes down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Or
I will say that it's out of some of the things he's done in the past, it isn't the worst thing he's done.
it's not the worst.
Not even close.
It's not the worst.
It's a really quick.
I'm just trying to.
He kind of shuffle. He does stutter step a little bit, and
Like
I don't.
when you watch in fast motion, does you really have time to stop and back up?
Yeah.
You do? You
Yeah.
think so? I don't know.
Yeah, he could have stopped, or he could have just held his ground. And
But
made
he
them
also
come to
doesn't
him.
know if he's going to flip for second.
You got to think these guys are getting down the line and how quick? 4 seconds,
Yeah.
or something.
4 or 5.
Some guys
under.
faster.
Yeah.
But if he stops and just pulls him to him, even for another 2 seconds, 1 second, Cronenworth's safe. He's got to tag and then still make a throw.
That's possible.
I mean, the guy's he's trying to do both. He's trying to tag and go first. So
yeah, I just feel like it's in the moment. But I feel like that's what I would do. I would drop down. I don't know if I would slide as hard as I don't know. I mean, I've barrel rolled into guys before, but that shit was legal when I was playing.
Going back to the Girardi Segura deal, did you ever have any moments like that in pro ball
With a manager
or a teammate where
I had a manager mother F me.
that was the broken bat one, right? Where you
Nah, it's the same manager, but multiple times.
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm going to be honest. I'm not surprised.
At least 3 that I could think of in one season. Yeah. So he got mad at me for the bat because I was swinging at changeups in the dirt and he broke it over his knee, or he hit into the dugout. And it was a big league bat that I got from my buddy. And then I hit a home run with a team bat. And of course it made him look good.
Yeah. I know we were talking about Machado and his time in San Diego being different than it had been in other spots and been less talked about for things like this. And so I wanted your opinion on,
And I'm not a Machado guy. So my initial thought was like, oh, what did he do? But then I look at it and like in fast motion, and I'm just like, if it was the guy on the 25th spot that did that, I don't know if we'd be talking about it the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Like, I just feel like he still goes and what do I do? And then he just went down.
And I guess
did he go in a little too hard? Probably. He probably could have stopped and went down. You know what I mean? That's probably what I might have done, is just stop and then drop. He kind of just kept going and slid right into him.
Right his legs.
Yeah. That's probably a little off, but
I don't know. You go watch some of the older stuff and
he literally stepped on a guy's foot.
I would say 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you'd be getting laughed at.
He might have Albert Belled him 15 years ago or something.
I'm just saying this conversation probably wouldn't even be happening.
Yeah.
This wouldn't be
an issue.
No. And it wouldn't be as talked about.
And in back in the day, the second baseman might have got up and knocked him out.
Yeah.
And got on a fight.
Or gone down with his elbows or something.
Yeah. Cleat to the face.
I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. But yeah, some interesting stuff going on out there. There's still some more umpire fails. I think I saw it was the A's Twins with Elvis Andrus worked his way into a interference call with the catcher. And again, it's why rundowns, you're always taught to clear after you get rid of the baseball. The catcher got rid of the baseball and going down the line, and he didn't. He just kept on running, and Andrews just stuck his elbow out and made contact and was awarded home.
And what do we tell our runners?
To do that, probably.
Yeah.
Find contact. That's a run.
It's a run. So, but again, that's something that had been talked about and posted, and I'm thinking there was a time where none of this stuff is even
an issue
talked about.
Yeah. None of it. I saw over the weekend with the unwritten rules with it was the Dodgers and the Angels, and the Angels were getting smashed. They made a comeback, but they were getting smashed. And I think it was my gosh, Taylor Ward from Fresno State.
Yeah.
I guess laid a drag down on the shift down, but 10 runs off Kershaw, or laid a bunt down or something. And it was being talked about as if like he did something wrong.
Was there a no-hitter going on?
No.
Was there a perfect game?
No. It was like 13-3.
Why does it matter?
13 or 14 to something.
No, who cares?
It pissed off Kershaw.
That's the only time that I really think it matters, is when it's a no-hitter or a perfect game.
And you're in the shift.
Yeah, you're in the shift.
And I think the Angels came back and ended up scoring like 7, 8, 9 runs. And he made it a fairly close game. But yeah, it was
play baseball.
The unwritten rules in this shift. Don't shift then.
I think these unwritten rules need to be written down.
If you have a problem with them, right? If you have that big a problem with them, write them down. I just thought it was stupid.
I mean, I had a problem with one when we were playing Merced. We were up, 17-2, and we weren't holding the guy on first, and they stole.
You don't like that? Hold them on then. If you don't want them to run, hold them on, right?
I mean,
you're doing it for defensive purposes, not for the runner. So if you're going to give him second base, I'm going to take it.
Well, I just had some words with the coach because the coach told him to go. So
you don't have words for me?
Yes. It's one of the unwritten rules. You don't.
Then write it down.
What I'm talking about?
Write it down.
Damn it.
Write it down. You need to write it down. I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm down 17-2. I'm probably not doing it, but I'm not gonna.
Because you're as offense, you're going base to base. You don't want to risk it and throw
No,
out, so
at that point, you need some base runners. You're not trying to run into outs there.
Yeah. So,
but if you're off far enough, I mean, you can get a big enough lead.
I mean, we face Merced this week, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Write it down. Right. You should write it down and hand it to him before the game.
I'll bring a dry erase board that says the unwritten rules, and I'll write them down.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Any more any MLB stuff you've seen besides that?
I haven't seen much.
I'm seeing more.
Hey, Donnie Walden's back up in the bigs.
Yeah, I saw he roped a double the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go listen to his episode. All the guys, Connor's
doing good, man.
Yeah. Loops.
Happy for that guy.
Dylan
Loops having a
Lee.
decent year. Dylan Lee's going to be up there soon. He's having a good time. Gamboa, just heard he touched 97.
What?
Yeah.
Throwing darts then. Good for him.
Yeah. He had a tough first outing. Then his second outing, he did really well. So,
you got Walden. We got a lot of
Walden. He'll be back up there soon. I guarantee it.
Yeah, that's kind of been I think people are a little surprised by how the Red Sox have just come out and leading division, and a little surprised. I don't think they expected that. Obviously, the Yankees were the talked about team, and then with Tampa being in the World Series last year, you just kind of expected kind of the same old thing. But that's why it's baseball, man. You got to play all the games. So
you have to.
We're gonna get to Courtney Deifel, the SEC Coach of the Year and regular season champs, and number 6 overall seed in the upcoming women's softball regionals. So stick around for Courtney Deifel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast. We're here with Courtney Deifel, the head softball coach at Arkansas and the SEC Coach of the Year, and helped lead. Well, you did lead since you're the coach, but I know you're going to give all the credit to your players
and her staff.
And her staff.
I saw some videos. You were going to change the name of the award.
Well, how ridiculous is that name? I mean, Coach of the Year, like you do it all yourself. Give me a break.
Well, SEC,
That's my opinion.
SEC champions for the first time in school history. Congratulations and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I know you're busy.
Thanks.
Yeah. And we just found out yesterday you got the number 6 national seed.
Host in Manhattan
for the tournament in the regional, the Arkansas Fayetteville regional. Yeah, host in Manhattan. Is that going to be this weekend? Friday.
Yep, this Friday. Manhattan, South Dakota State, and Stanford.
Now, with being in the SEC tournament, I know being the regular season champion, the tournament wasn't really a big factor. And plus, it was single. Is it always single elimination?
Yeah.
It is. And Tennessee they upset you guys in the first game you guys played. But, I know that wasn't really a big deal, was winning the tournament, since you knew you're going to be in a regional and be a host site. Obviously you wanted to win the tournament. You're not going in there thinking to lose, but what's it been like? Because Burnside didn't play in that game. She had some like an injury issue with her back, I think. And so how has it been not winning that, but having the extra time to rest up for the regional?
Well, it was nice. We actually had the weekend off before the SEC tournament too. So it was kind of uncharted territory a little bit of having time to rest. And, in a 50+ game season, you just are kind of used to your just going and going and going. So having that rest was nice. I think people kind of used it against us of like, oh, are they going to be ready or after having 12 days off? It's like, we didn't lose because we had a weekend off. We lost because we ran into a really good pitcher that, you know, like that's the game sometimes. And they ran into a really good pitcher and they put a good pitch out. That's the game too sometimes. But now coming back off that, it's like, you know, people are like, okay, well now 1 game in 18 days, are they good? But I was watching our team yesterday at practice going, you guys look like you feel really good. And you don't always have that feel as a coach at the end of a season after you play 50 some games. So I was with our pitchers in our bullpen yesterday. I'm like, you guys look like you feel really good. And they're like, yeah, like they just felt like they had a lot of juice. You know, they had, their bodies were rested and we're ready to go. So we're excited about our draw. It's a tough one. But more than anything, we're just really excited to be home. And we felt like we had earned that. We felt like we earned that going into the SEC tournament. It's not like that tournament's not a big deal. It's a very big deal. You have a potential to compete on one of the biggest stages. That was the biggest stage of the year prior to probably the World Series. It was the first live event that ESPN had put on. And so you always obviously want to have a good product and you want to compete and you want to win. But we had already felt like we had put a body of work together that had garnered us a top 8 seed, we felt like. And so it was really nice to see our name on the board last night as a 6th seed. It's pretty cool.
Now you guys had the weekend off prior, but you were supposed to play your alma mater, Cal, right?
Well, we had worked that out prior to the pandemic hitting.
Oh.
And we were going to do that. And then when everything hit, they couldn't travel. It was obviously a huge expense. We had talked about potentially playing Wichita State, which would be a huge matchup. And then we kind of just had the ability to let our players rest, one, but also do graduations, which a lot of times, you know, being a spring sport, you don't get to participate in those type of things. So we just took that weekend to do, you know, student stuff and life stuff, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got to be nice to have a little bit of a break, because looking at your schedule, you had your Razorback Invitational and then the Woo Pig Classic. You guys if you look at their schedule, you guys played a ton of games and like a 3 or 4 week stretch. Like I thought that's like 3 or 4 straight double headers in a row.
Yeah, it's kind of the nature of softball. It's why we're so much tougher than you guys. I'm just kidding. But it's kind of the nature of softball is like in those non-conference weekends, we play, you know, 5 or 6 games. Sometimes teams will even schedule some midweek games in between. I don't tend to like to do that, but you know, we'll play 5 games one weekend and then next weekend play 6. And so you're really, you know, we have 4 non-conference weekends. And so for us, you're playing 20 of your 56 games in the first 4 weekends. It's a lot. You got to be on your game and ready to go.
And then
well, I mean, I get my argument real quick.
This will be good. Let's hear this.
I mean,
I can't wait.
I mean, if you could throw your ace every game, we would probably play more games too.
I think you were talking about women being tougher than
yeah,
men.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
I know.
Well,
I have a question for you though, because I'm gonna ask Van Horn this, but like we have a middle reliever on our baseball team, Kevin Copps, who's one of the best. I mean, I don't know if you've gotten to watch him yet. He's legit. He's so good. Well, he'll pitch like 3-4 innings on Friday and then turn around and do it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because he's
tougher, I guess. I don't know. Well, I mean, you know, though, it's pitch count too, you know.
It's pitch count. I know it's like a lot. I mean, it's a lot harder on your shoulder and your body to pitch overhand. And it is if you have bad mechanics softball wise. If you have clean mechanics, your legs are going to go out before anything else. So
does playing that much early like help that SEC run though? You think?
It does. You need that non-conference schedule to balance the conference schedule RPI wise. So you need that. You need to be able to see different things. It tests you. It prepares you for your conference season. So yeah, I absolutely think so.
I was kind of mad when they were talking about when you guys got into SEC play that you haven't played a tougher schedule than some of the SEC schools, and they were talking about your record, and it kind of pissed me off because you really had Alabama was the toughest series you guys had. I'm not saying none of the other teams were tough. The SEC is tough. It's top conference in the country. But the Alabama series was the only series you lost. And I got pissed when it came down to the seedings for the tournament. You guys got the second seed because Florida beat Alabama. And I was like, well, it shouldn't have came down to the Alabama series. Like, they only lost one series the whole time. I just got frustrated. And I mean, what do you do as a coach when all the nonsense outside trying to keep that team going?
Well, it was really frustrating for me too. We lost the Missouri series too, so I'm just gonna have to put it out there. But you know how our conference is structured, it's kind of interesting because we never went head to head with Florida. And so when we end up tying, the tiebreaker is your record against your highest ranked common opponent, which ends up being Alabama. So that ends up giving us the 2, which whatever, that's fine. The thing that was frustrating for me with our group is that this is a good group. We've been really good the last 4 years. We've been steadily climbing. We've been really good. I just feel like with this team, we have to start over every year, and of like just kind of, you know, earning that recognition, which some teams have it, whatever, that's where we're at. But when we got into conference season and you hear all of that, and we don't put a lot of weight in that, we don't really care. It's ultimately, a lot of times it's just some random guy sitting in a room that's never seen us play weighing in on how good we are. They don't really know. So we don't put a ton of weight in that. But I was really tired of hearing people make excuses for why we were good. Like, this team's good. They've earned it. At one point, we started 12-0 in our conference season, 6 of those on the road. And then they're saying, oh, because we haven't played anybody. But then in the same breath, they're saying that the SEC is the toughest conference. And then they're saying, look at what Ole Miss has done. Well, Ole Miss was in that group. And it's still really hard. It's harder to win in this sport, baseball too, than it ever has been. Teams are stronger. It's a sport already that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. And the strength just keeps spreading out. And so for this team to do what they've done and then not get the recognition, it just pissed me off, to be completely honest. And it's like, people don't need to make excuses for why we're good. If Florida goes 12-0, then they say, look how good Florida is, you know, but like we go 12-0 and they're like, oh, they haven't played anybody.
Oh, wow. Look at this year.
So anyway.
Well, and it's not like you have. It
fires me up because this team's really good, you know, and then we get into this top 10 battle, and it's like, well, to be completely honest, in my opinion, you should have been top 10 3 weeks ago. You know, any other team that had the record and what you guys had done, they would have been in the top 10 3 weeks ago. So, you know, we let it fire us up. We have a little chip on our shoulder. Our players do. We do too. And we also just don't feel like we need the approval of anybody outside of our circle. So.
As you should. And
I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, you're good.
100% true.
Yeah. And I honestly, when I'm coaching at City with your dad, so we have all the Arkansas games on and stuff when they're going on, or I gave him my phone during practice so he could watch it on the SEC network.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about, you guys, since you didn't do good in the tournament, it's like, oh, we don't know if they're going to, and it's like, how do they not even get an 8 seed? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
And even a 6 seed, like, great, you got a 6 seed, but how are you not in the top 5? Like, and then it's just another thing to feel you guys, though. You guys have another chip that's just like, we have to go out and prove everybody wrong, which sometimes is the great teams that get to do that, to get to go prove everybody wrong. And, you know, sometimes the teams that get all the credit and say, everybody says how good they are, they kind of get lax and, you know, oh, we are good and this and that. But the teams that have a chip and need to fight for their respect are the ones that will, you know, come out stronger in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and it's not like you get to choose what your conference schedule and where
everyone goes through the cycle. We're all on the same cycles.
Right.
So like, you know, when people win in years past, they don't sit there and say, oh, because they didn't play X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, we all get the same schedules. Like, I didn't choose it.
Yeah.
You brought up one point, and your road schedule, like your road record, like that's dangerous. The 18 and 2, was it? 18 and 2 on the road. Can you talk about how challenging just that alone is?
Yeah. Part of me was like, maybe we shouldn't put a bid in for the regional. You know, this team's just been really businesslike all year. And and it just doesn't faze them where we're playing, to be quite honest. And I just think when you're on the road and in the SEC and you don't have the ability to throw the last punch, you just have to have a really strong belief in yourself and your teammates. And this team does, so I just think it's, especially you go into that last weekend and we're going on the road to LSU in one of the hardest places to play. And we know that we need to win 2 of 3. And we win that first one and it's a battle, and you lose the second one and you're like, okay, it's going to come down to this one game. Our backs, we know it's at stake and we gotta grab it. They're not fazed by people in the stands yelling at them. It's just, this team doesn't care. They don't flinch. They're tough. And they just have a really strong belief in themselves. It's a pretty special group.
Now you go in and you end up winning it to get the share of the SEC championship. All the work that you've put in since you've been at Arkansas, a program that wasn't established to what you won one game in your first year at the SEC, and now to this, just the emotions after that win, knowing that you've worked so hard, and the players, the coaches, everybody around you, and the support. It was nice for me to see the emotion from you on TV. But just what was that feeling like?
Oh, it was incredible. It's incredible because you didn't win it in that one moment. You won it in, the grind of the 6 years of and everybody that was in that circle at one point. And so it was a really cool moment to get to be their coach and look at those faces in that circle that day and know that they came here to do that. Know that they had to believe in something that hadn't really existed yet and could see that was a possibility, and then committing to that every day. And then seeing, this super senior group come in and just have to compete to get into a postseason and hope their name's going to be on that board come selection show, to watching them sit there knowing their name is going to be up there, quite possibly in the top 8. And just to look at their commitment in that stretch is incredible. It's just so cool. And listening to them talk, we do a lot with our sports performance, sports psych guy, and listening to them talk of saying, it's really cool to be in the position that we're at because this is exactly what we came to do. We came to do this. We came to put Arkansas on the map, to leave our mark on this program. And that's what we're doing. And so it's just really special. It's a really cool group. And there's a lot of commitment from just not that circle, but everyone that played before them. And then all of our family members, it's for my husband and my kid, all of that. It's just, it is emotional because it means a lot to us. And it's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I remember I was watching it on TV and I texted your dad. I was like, I know you're crying right now, but I hope you're okay.
There is something that happens when you become a parent that you all of a sudden you're emotional. Like my dad's always the most emotional, and I think I said this last time. He's the most emotional person in our family. But then when you become a parent, there's it's like a switch that goes off that makes you emotional, and just things hit you a little harder. Yeah. And it was interesting. I FaceTimed my husband and boys right after I was done with the team, and my husband is crying and I'm crying, and my boys are looking at us like, what is wrong with you two? They do not understand what happy tears are. And it's clearly you haven't talked to Papa that much. No, I'm just kidding. But it was a really cool lesson. And it's being in sports, you're just so invested in everything and all the time, and every individual that's come through your program. And you just, when you get to see them accomplish what they want, that's the most rewarding thing for a coach that there is.
Especially for, taking over the program, trying to recruit and have players buy into your system and the culture, and, to see that pay off is just huge for even the players you came in that were there already, and the players you recruited before this process, that they were all a part of this culture that, made this happen, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, especially early when we weren't getting the results that you want. And so you have to celebrate the culture changes, you celebrate the process, you celebrate how we approach the game, and you get them to see more in themselves when you aren't necessarily getting those wins. But it's those early years that and those players in those early years that I contribute a lot of the success to, because if they don't change how they approach the game and they don't make it look appealing to our recruits don't say yes. They don't just like say, oh yeah, I believe that, they have to see that happening. And, I remember coming off early, we played Auburn at home and they outscored us 54-0 in 15 innings. So we got run rolled 3 times, 3 5-inning games, 54-0. And I walked off and Jenna Bloom, who's one of our pitchers now, was here with her family. And I was like, please, please trust where we are going. Please trust that we are going to get this thing going. And she's like, I do. And I think you could see, like, even in that moment, we're getting our butt handed to us. You could see how we were approaching the game. You could see who we were. You could see what we could do. And it's those players early that bought into that vision and wanted to come leave their mark. And I feel like those players have an extra chip on their shoulder, and those are the ones you want fighting with you.
100%. And they'll always have that going forward, whatever they go on and do after this, that work ethic and what it took to get there. It'll apply to anything and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We
do have a squad out here representing the Fresno area, but
okay, cool.
We've been,
but she's also local.
Yeah,
and
yes,
100%. I've known her forever, and
your catch.
I'm Woopigsooie going now.
Yeah, it's just one, Jeff.
I do both though. I don't care because I do whatever I want.
It's gonna start a new Woopigsooie.
Why not? Oh my God. But you have a Woopigsooie fan now. I had my Arkansas shirt on the other day, supporting. So
sweet.
No, we will be rooting you guys on for sure.
All right, thanks.
And,
we'll take all the fans we can get.
Absolutely. No, that's and it's Friday. SEC Network. I think it's 10 a.m. Pacific time.
10 o'clock your time. Yep.
So
get breakfast early, get a good spot on the couch.
I'll be watching it.
Friday, Chad?
No, it got moved to Saturday. So your dad's got Friday all for the game.
Okay, cool. We're going to need all your good vibes sent out this way.
100%. No, Coach, thank you for coming on and doing this. I know you're busy and you guys get ready to go this week, but good luck. We'll be rooting for you guys. And that's Coach Deifel.
Yeah, congratulations once again. Coach of the year, all your players.
Thank you.
Yeah, well deserved. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks for
Thanks again.
You got it.
Man, Courtney is so awesome to talk to. So fun to talk to.
It's easy.
Yeah.
She makes it easy.
She does. Yeah. I love the banter.
The banter.
Yeah. Good luck to her, man.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I hope they do good. I hope they go all the way. I hope they win a national championship.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. Be crazy. Yeah, definitely good luck to Arkansas softball program, of course, Fresno State Dogs program, and all of them are on TV. So get out there, go check it out, and get the times. I think we said it once on here, but go support Courtney and the Razorbacks, and obviously our dogs down at the Los Angeles Regional. And that's another episode of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or Die.